It is Wednesday night. You know what that means. We are live with Pals Pulls. Tyler, am I too loud now?
You're good. You're good. You were
Okay. All
enthusiastic,
right.
not loud. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Good. Say hello as you join us here live on Twitch. We have 4 books that we're reviewing this week, as always, and there are 4 of us. But I do want to point out that this was a massive week for comics. We could have done like 8 books, just in terms of the books that came out and enthusiasm about them. I could have read like 8 books, but we narrowed that down to what I thought were the 4 biggest releases and the most interesting. Marvel heavy, of course, because I'm a sucker. Punisher #1. Interesting timing for this one to be coming out. Deaths of Wolverine #4. Devil's Reign #5. And Little Monsters #1. That's an Image joint. Wanted to put something,
who did that
a little different.
Yeah, let me see that variant.
Oh yeah, you got it.
Very nice. Who is that?
You know what? As always, I don't know. Let me see.
So it could be a Declan Shalvey.
You know what? There's no credit on the interior, and the signature says DM, so I'm not sure.
DM.
DM.
DN? Maybe it's another win cover.
It's an M for sure. I don't know if you can see it, but it's definitely not sure. But I would love to know what you guys
monkey cover.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool. I like that.
Doug man.
I would love to know what you guys listening pulled this week. Again, huge week, and I'm sure that your list will look wildly different than what we pulled. So if you want to share that information with us, you can do so in a ton of different ways. You can always jump in our chat on Twitch. We go live on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern for this very show, and Saturdays at 10 in the morning Eastern for the main show. Get us on YouTube, youtube.com/thecomicspals. You can jump in the comments, as you guys so often do, or you can like the video, share it with your friends. You should really do all that stuff. It's free to do, and it helps us out a lot more than it costs you. Do want to shout out our review of The Batman, which Tyler and I did. We had a lot of fun with that. Go listen to our review as more of you see the movie. I'm sure that you guys want to hear our thoughts, so that is available for you guys wherever you get the show. And the tie-in book club is Batman Year One, so give that a listen as well.
Yo, TikTok is chewing me up in that Batman video we posted.
Oh man, yeah, TikTok comments have not been kind to Tyler.
I'm like, just keep watching, dude. Past 3 seconds, you'll see that I liked it. God damn, attention spans are horrible these days.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like you I think what it was that you didn't love the movie from the second it started, so you just suck.
Me.
Yep. See, that's the bad thing.
I learned something new in that movie. Is if I open my eyes more, I can see better.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who would have known?
Yeah.
Let's start it off. Let's talk Punisher. So again, Punisher #1. This is by Jason Aaron, who is, not beloved right now for some missteps he made. Jesus Saez and Paul Azaceta, I guess.
Yeah, I believe he did the opening scene. He's the guy that did that Kirkman book with the exorcisms. That was a TV show for a bit.
Oh, Outcast?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's that guy.
So this, of course, is the debut of the Punisher, who is... Oh, before I even start, full spoilers, as always. You guys know the deal. This is the debut of the Punisher, who is working with the Hand. We all saw the preview images. I'll show you guys, one of the splashes from the book that makes that point very clear. I'm holding it up on YouTube or for you guys on YouTube and Twitch. And it's just an image of the Punisher at this warehouse with swords and his new designed logo and the Hand all around him, working with him. So that's kind of the big to-do about this issue. It's a huge change. How do you guys feel about this new take for the Punisher?
Speaking of change, I just wanted to start by commenting on the art because I used to love Hasusai's.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so when I saw the opening art, I'm like, wow, this guy's style has changed. I'm here for it. And I flipped past the credits and that big splash. And I was like, oh, that's right. That's what he looks like now. That's the style he's doing.
This doesn't seem anything different than what I remember, though, in terms of Hasusai's art.
It feels more like smoothed out. Like things just feel and look too shiny.
Yeah,
and
I'll get to that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But let's talk pitch. Let's talk concept. How do you guys feel it was executed here?
I traditionally really like Jason Aaron as a writer. Even except when he's writing
Pocahontas
as a sex goddess for the white man. But outside of that, Jason Aaron has traditionally been one of those writers like, well, I will read what Aaron is writing. I've even read every single Avengers book he's done. I guess I've gone further than most. And I traditionally will always read a Punisher number 1, rarely a number 2, but always a number 1. And so this pairing, I was like, okay, I remember Aaron did, I think, Punisher, not Warzone. He did Punisher Max, was it?
Max,
or
maybe. That
he
makes
did
sense.
Fury Max. I know he did Fury Max. I'm not sure.
Who did War Journal?
There's been a lot. Ennis is probably most well known.
Yeah.
Okay.
For that. It's Ennis and who is the guy that did most of his art on it. Anyway, yeah, and once I heard that the pitch was, this is the Punisher as the I guess hired assassin of the Hand. I was like, all right, sure. I like Daredevil a lot. I'm into the Hand. I'll check it out. But this I kind of enjoyed it. I'm not sure exactly how I feel about it. I like when Punisher isn't talky, and he's not in this. Frank Castle is not the POV in this at all. You don't even get the narration from him. This is all from the point of view of the Hand leader that's kind of ushering Frank into this new, I guess, moment of his life. And
she's middle management.
The archpriestess.
What is she then? And the carpal of the Hand, like she's like middle management. So she's
interesting.
The metacarpal of it.
Of course, you would make a comment like that.
I've been doing a lot of hand research lately, so not a big fan of my hands right now, but the Hand is pretty good. Yeah, and I like the little twist at the end. It's a big spoiler, but they brought back his wife, and I guess Punisher's just doing all this for some coochie. But
for the nookie, Jesus Christ!
I mean, the nookie / coochie, as it were.
I mean, this has been this is the love of his life, the one that's kind of driven him to be this homicidal maniac for the most of his life. One thing that really jumped out to me in this is that they frame Frank Castle as a bad person, really. Like, yes, they show his inciting incident with the flashback by Paul Zaceta, whereas wife and kids get killed, and they really brush the kid part under the rug pretty quickly. And then they show that really cool splash page of all these different eras of the Punisher, notably not showing Chichetto and Rucka's run in there, and no Frankencastle in there, which I think are more two recent prominent stories. And like they describe him as a murderer, a homicidal maniac, a force of nature, which is perfect for the Hand. But he's not framed in a way that's, I don't know, likable. And I think that's a deliberate choice, especially with the co-option of the co-optive nature of the Punisher logo in real life. And I'm wondering not even wondering, I can tell that is a deliberate choice to do.
Well, I think that this is the first time we've seen the Punisher in a selfish light. Like, he's doing all this because he wants or has his wife back. And so what wouldn't he do for her? We've seen the chaos and carnage he'll unleash for vengeance, and now he has his wife. So the killing machine is turned on all the more. And I like that, because now the Punisher has something to fight for that is in the present. So not only does it give us something tangible, but it also means that he can be hurt. His physical body can be hurt. Obviously, we've always known that. He's just a human. But she can be hurt, and she can be used against him. So I think all of that was brilliant on Aaron's part.
I did like that as the framing of it is that, assumingly they're holding her in some, like, however they resurrect, right? Like they're holding her hostage for him, utilizing him. This is probably the first Punisher book I've ever read. I'm trying to think. He's maybe been a character that has been in books that I've read, but not one that is specifically him.
Yeah.
So this is an introduction, was interesting. The violence of it was not something that I'd experienced, and so that was a cool thing to see. And yeah, the way that they are framing it and using him, I think it's interesting. It's an interesting take because he has now, I guess you could say can grow as a character because we're removing the death aspect of his whole mission statement. Right now he has to formulate what that is, and apparently it is, I will kill anything to ensure that this person is never harmed again. That's interesting.
Makes you wonder what's going to happen when she dies.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because that's going to happen, right?
Or if they leverage his kid. It's like, hey, we can bring him back too, but you got to go even further now.
Yeah, and that was one of the things that I guess up front was a bit of a negative for me, but I'm certainly going to let it play out and see what they do. But the focus on his wife primarily, not acknowledging, are the children alive? Like, what's up with that? I was kind of, I always felt like the Punisher was motivated by the fact that he lost his children more, like, specifically, which could just be me reading. But the fact that it was focused mostly on his wife was like, well, damn, if you could get anyone resurrected, wouldn't you want your kids? I don't know.
No.
No?
No. Kids suck.
All right.
Not his kids.
How do you know?
Reading
Fair
this
enough.
origin, it made me realize how close Frank Castle's origin is to John Travolta's origin in Face Off. It's almost identical, especially the way they portrayed it in this. And I was like, oh man, I'm getting real Face Off vibes from this. I kind of dig it,
Maybe that's why they cast him as the villain of the wasn't he the villain in the original Punisher? Well, the 2003 Punisher movie.
Travolta?
Wasn't it him?
Definitely, yeah, it was one of them.
Wait,
Surely
really?
it was 03.
I did not know
Yeah.
Travolta. I've seen Punisher Warzone. I never saw the Thomas Jane one.
Nah, bro. You got first of all, the greatest soundtrack of all time. Of those, not of like the the orchestral version or whatever.
Like a score.
In terms
The
of
scores,
not the score. This is the greatest soundtrack in terms of music inspired by the movie. You need to find it. It's amazing.
What's on it?
Oh my god.
Is this like
Okay,
Eminem?
first of all, the theme song of Kane, right? Slow Chemical.
That's on this.
Yeah, that is on there. So you will love it for that. It has Nickelback, okay,
Sure.
which has to.
Not really.
All right, hold on. It gets better.
It was of the time. You got to give it that. It was
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Seether, you like Seether, right?
I don't.
All right, forget you then, dude.
Hey,
Keep
give me
going. What
three
else you
more.
got? Let's see what you can get.
Oh, please, I have this shit memorized. You kidding me? Okay, Queens of the Stone Age.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, oh, Queens of the Stone Age. You like?
Yeah, I do like that. Yeah.
All right, well, good. You have
Travolta was in it. Wow.
yes, dude, yes. I'm blanking on the rest. I can't. think
Oh,
of
you
any
have
of
it
the
memorized, huh?
others. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but that's like half the album, to be fair.
I mean, but with that lineup, it can't be any worse than Fantastic Four, which was absolute garbage.
Not good.
This fun fact, and I'll stop rambling about the music. This album has the Seether song with Amy Lee, which is like one of the greatest songs to come out of that era of metal and rock.
I like how I'm looking at it on Wikipedia, and it's called "The Punisher: The Album."
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
All right, I got the
Anyway.
we got Drowning Pool, Puddle of Mud, Nickelback, Queens of the Stone Age,
Puddle of
Seether,
Mud, of course, it has to be
Yes,
a puddle
dude.
of mud.
Bell, Edgewater, Finger 11.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Of
Edgewater.
course,
like-
Finger 11 was on it.
This is like the tail end of good new metal. Like this is where it started to go downhill. I don't see one mention of Korn or POD on here. That's
No.
I think Finger 11 was on the Daredevil soundtrack.
They were. Yeah, they
Yeah.
were.
all up in that era right there.
Yeah.
Anyway, which FF was garbage? The Medic, they were talking about the album.
Inspired by the 2000s film.
Yeah. I actually still feel like that first Fantastic Four is pretty decent. The second one, I can't do it. Anyway, let's talk about Punisher in the comics.
Fantastic Four is what killed the Long Box podcast. It's our last published episode.
Wow. One of my issues, one of my only criticisms of this book is, frankly, the way the Punisher looks. He looks like he's about 25, peak human body, blemishless, and it's just not really believable to me. He's too smooth. He doesn't look hardened. This is just not how the Punisher should look. At least not in my opinion. No scars. He just looks perfect. Maybe they're going to say that he died at some point before this and got resurrected by the Hand. But even that, I just wouldn't buy that. To me, if the Punisher doesn't look how I described, then he doesn't feel like the Punisher.
It felt more like an artistic choice.
Yeah.
Because there were places that he definitely did have scars, and he did look supremely beat up at outside the fights or whatever. Like it, especially at the end when you get the when he's getting into bed with his wife or whatever. I think you're supposed to get the impression that this is a dude that's been around and taken his share of beatings or whatever. I think he just. I think Saez maybe just, I don't know, didn't want to do it. My guess is that's probably a shit ton of work.
That's very fair, but I just love how the representation of all the hell that Punisher's been through is in this panel that I'm holding up, literally like 3 scratches on his back.
Dude's got a
even the blemishes on his wife are just a couple of like slight dents on her face and chest.
Yeah.
I have worse acne scars.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I do think this is a really good looking book. I just don't know if it really fits the Punisher necessarily, but I think Saez does a really, really good job here.
Right.
Outside of that. Yeah, sorry, man. You're the odd man out.
I'm actually kind of I kind of agree with Marco. So I enjoy Saez's art, but ever since I think Spencer's Cap run, the way it's colored is it feels way too digital, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Like it feels like it's colored in a way that it wants to be like 3D art on 2D drawing. If that makes sense. There's like this depth and roundness to the coloring that kind of takes me out of it. And it's always been colored by like that for years from what I remember. I've seen Saez colored very flatly, and I think that looks better. But it's also like this is Dave Stewart, like so it's kind of wild. Like Dave Stewart, it's like one like kings.
He's
of color.
one of the guys, yeah.
I think there's the shading that he uses, because he uses like how Greg Smallwood kind of makes like things look a little sandy, right, with like the texture and the grain. He has that quality here too, but it feels like smudges. It feels like he's like smudging a lot. Those are the pieces of the art that I have issue with sometimes, because that compared to like contrasted with the bright with like the bright lights on his body. I'm trying to find like a page to example, but like when he's in Greece And this page in particular, right? Like there's just like I can't see it, but like there's just smoothness.
It never works, Marco.
It never fucking works.
Nothing brings me more joy.
I kind of get like a Snapchat face smoothing filter kind of feel from it in a way.
Yeah.
Funny.
Which, yeah, that was kind of a bummer, but like that fight scene with Punisher in a small apartment with a whole bunch of hand, like I'm willing to overlook that. Especially when Punisher pulls out a knife from his fridge and he stabs some guy in the dick.
Yeah.
The
little
old
chainsaw
dick twist. Yeah.
Yeah, Punisher is a vicious, violent murderer, and I think that they did a great job of bringing that to life. I really enjoyed this. I definitely say pull it. It's not my pick of the week, but that's because this week was stacked. And on most weeks, I would have chosen this. I think everybody involved did a tremendous job. And this is going to be the first time in probably, I don't know, like 10 years since I've like read The Punisher. And I'm really excited. Shenran, yes, it is for now. So we don't know. Like sometimes they say that, and then the numbers are good enough that they're like, oh, let's keep doing this. So Paul, pass. What do you guys say?
I'm gonna say pull.
Yeah, pull it.
I enjoy it. Yeah.
If you can take it, yeah, it's a pull.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, it's worth pointing out. It is hyper violent.
Yeah. Yeah, I can be squeamish with the Punisher, but this one was okay.
Okay.
I don't feel bad for the death of ninjas.
Especially because they literally come back, you know, like they're not.
Yeah.
the death of the hand is like so worthless. And I'm glad, like I wanted to say this and I forgot about it. So one thing I hate is that the hand are supposed to be these trained like assassins, and they just get annihilated. They're worse than the
floor
foot.
with them.
Yep. They suck.
Might as well be ants.
Yeah.
Who wins in a fight then? The Hand or the League of Shadows?
The League.
The League of Shadows is Ra's al Ghul's.
Raish al Ghul's? Yeah.
Oh, pardon me. Yeah, League of Shadows by a million.
Because like the League of Shadows has, for lack of a better term, elite units. Like, you know, they have named villains that exist within their group, whereas the Hand is just a hand outside of the bees. So
it's like always outsource to the Hand. Like,
yeah,
they need to work on their internal development a little better. Yeah, they should keep getting subcontractors. The middle management of the Hand really needs to kind of step their game up.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about X Deaths of Wolverine #4. I'll just show this cover one more time because I really think it looks awesome.
I got that cover on the screen.
Yeah, awesome. So this, of course, is by Benjamin Percy, Federico Vincenti, Dijo Lima did the colors, and Corey Pettit did the letters and the design, and of course Tom Muller credited for designing the whole thing. Notice we're doing X Deaths of Wolverine and not lives. I had to make an executive decision, and I went with my gut that this book was going to be really good.
I can tell you that I read X Lives as well as X Deaths, and X Deaths this week was actually way better. So,
okay.
I didn't get to lives yet, so I'm glad to hear that. I mean, I'm not glad to hear that lives wasn't good, but I'm glad that we read the better book. I thought this was the best issue yet. This shit was crazy. It really feels like we're getting somewhere. This is not exactly the book that I thought it would be before it started, but it is exactly the book it needs to be. Holy shit.
I still have an issue with it.
What?
Man.
Really?
No, okay. For the TikTok audience, I enjoyed this book.
Say it slower. Say it slower. Enunciate.
The TikTok, so I just won't put that in there. I enjoyed this book, but like the Moira machinations she gets fucking brutal in this. She gets Leatherface style in this. Like literally skins Banshee alive. Also,
that was wild.
Poor Banshee.
Damn. I said out loud, holy fuck.
I did too, dude. I was, yeah.
And I was so blown away. My wife doesn't know anything about anything. And I went, she said, what? And I had to explain it to her because I was like, somebody has to know this right now.
Yeah, Moira's pulling no punches. Go ahead, Tyler. You weren't finished.
But I feel like this is not coming out of nowhere. Like we know she's been through all these lives and stuff, but like I'm with you, Sean. We're like I feel like we missed something. There's a piece missing that it could have been that Moira book that we never got. Where this was the trajectory she was always supposed to go on, but I feel like we're missing a little bit of the I guess heel turn.
There's an absent beat, 100%.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting from it.
Because like up to this the skinning banshee part, I was like, okay, like this is pretty. I could see all of this to a certain degree, but at that point, I'm a bit like,
yeah,
she really went off the deep end here.
And I wonder how many things like this there will be in terms of like, now that Hickman's gone, whoa, this doesn't feel right because something was supposed to come before it and it didn't. I don't wish for that, but I kind of feel like this is that. So, but I will say that, while it was insane and gruesome to see her skin Banshee the way that she does, she knows that he'll be back. Yeah. So it's cruel, but there's a way around it.
It's inconsequential. The death is inconsequential for X-Men right now. So
right,
yeah, but she's still got to do it, right?
Right.
Like,
sure,
absolutely. But I think that goes back to, we got to remember she lived a life where she was with Apocalypse. Yeah. So we probably haven't seen the depths of what she's willing to do yet. And this almost makes me wish that Moira was a more active character post House and Powers, because holy shit, she's actually more interesting than Professor X and Magneto.
Oh yeah.
And Kale, the stuff that's referenced in this regarding X Lives Wolverine, is that happening this week too?
Yep.
That it almost seems like it makes sense as to why they both came out the same day. But yeah,
right, yeah.
And also, it takes a while to skin something. Like,
right?
I'll give you that.
Yeah, if you guys ever skin anything, it takes a bit.
Well, dude, think about the last or a couple of issues ago or whatever it was, where she like changed her whole hairstyle, cut her arm. Like, I don't know how they're pulling that off. Benjamin Percy's gonna have to explain that to me. But I thought this was fantastic. The way that Phalanx Wolverine talks about his children and not his children was heartbreaking. And it gave me heavy Terminator vibes, especially when Reese is speaking with Sarah Connor in the first movie. I was really, really feeling that. But I felt for him. This is the end. He's the end of the line for mutants, and he watched them die. Including his family, including his friends. That sucks.
Yeah, I think Percy's really able to carry a lot of those emotional beats, and I think he's doing a good job. I think telling this story. I know that it feels like we are missing a bit of context there for some things, but I think what he's doing with it is it's working. He's able to pick up those pieces and keep pushing the narrative forward, and it's entertaining. It's good.
He writes a damn good Wolverine.
Hell yeah, dude.
He's got that voice down pat.
That's a great book. It's probably his voice, dude. Have you heard him?
Yeah.
He's just talking. That's it.
Sultry ass voice. His voice has a beard. Like,
I can't think of another writer other than like literally Claremont who has done more for Wolverine and just had like a legitimately really solid run. Maybe like Mark Miller. But I can't think of anybody else. Aaron?
Yeah.
Aaron, okay, that's fair. No, that's fair. Aaron's run was real good.
Was like a whole other thing too, yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right. You got me.
Schism. Did Schism too.
Dude, you can get me on Schism. I'm not even gonna get into it, but yeah, Schism was cool. And then, going forward, Moira sneaks into, Krakoa vis-a-vis the skinning of Banshee there. But she depowers Bishop or
Forge.
Forge. Thank you. She depowers Forge. That's crazy.
Yeah, just send him to the Crucible and he'll get his powers back.
Yeah, absolutely.
You might as well killed him. Like, that's essentially what you did.
Yeah, exactly.
There's
That's
no
crazy.
way they can afford to have Forge powerless.
It's worthless.
Yeah, no, he is. Yeah.
We can't fix it. Nobody else can fix all this shit, right? If the toilet goes down, who's they gonna call?
Go back to like fixing iPhones.
Yeah.
He has to go back to his job at You Break iFix.
But then obviously worse than that, she depowers the Phalanx Wolverine, which means that he can't heal, which means that he is overcome by the Phalanx. That's bad news.
Yeah, that part was cool. And then that last page, where he's just like this half phalanx bone, and that was cool shit. Like muscle torn apart. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, I'm holding it up. Great description by Marco. But yeah, that really made me excited to see the finale of this. Like, you talk about a cliffhanger. What the hell is this suit that Moira was in? Like, I know they showed it at the start of the scene, but I guess I'm missing something. I haven't read something, but I don't know what the hell that is.
Yeah, it was an X-Force. It's like a Forge mech suit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a Krakoan mech suit sort of thing.
Like,
cool.
Like semi-organic, right? It looks like it's like wings or something.
Yeah, Krakoan tech.
Yeah. Yeah. This was awesome. This was my pick of the week. I thought this was brilliant.
Yeah, this was good. This was real good stuff. I also wanted to comment on like the art. It all felt super, just like kinetic, like the beat by beat, panel by panel. I like the use of like blurs a lot in comics because it just like helps to evoke motion, and we got a lot of that here in the action sequences. Some of the gory stuff, like when the Phalanx Wolverine just like there's a lobotomy on the dude. Like, they're just really good moments here that it's a lot of fun.
That was crazy. Yeah.
That would probably fix my deviated septum too. Like, I'm pretty nice actually.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you, Tyler. If you were to like allow a little bit of Phalanx into you, it might, overhaul top to bottom, dude. Your hands.
I think I could use that. Yeah.
Yeah. Shit, I'll take it too.
Eat cheese.
You have some Phalanx in you? Do you want some? Like, that's where I thought you were going.
Wait, Marco, why would I eat cheese?
Because then you'd be able to eat cheese.
Oh, right. Yes, then I would be able to eat cheese. That is true. Thank you. Yeah, so pull it for sure, obviously.
Not if you haven't been reading. Like, we're deep in the weeds at this point. Like, at this point, I can safely say this will be a good trade pickup for sure.
Whenever I say that for a book that's past like the first issue or whatever, I'm saying, like, if you've been reading it, keep on keeping on,
Yeah.
But it's not for the uninitiated. Absolutely. I wouldn't buy this if you haven't read
Inferno.
Yeah, House of Powers. Like, you have to know. This will make no sense at all if you haven't been reading those.
I wouldn't pick this up if you're a fan of Banshee.
If you're Irish, don't pick this up.
Yeah.
Shit, what am I doing here?
Pull it.
The best part about that, not to harp on the Banshee scene, but like the best part is like it's a text thread in those like patented, Hoxpox X-Men data pages, and then like it's jump cut. He's skinned alive. Like,
it's funny. I have Benjamin Percy's essays on writing, and he has a whole book, a whole chapter on depicting violence and like what to depict. And when going between those two moments, I was like, oh,
interesting. Is that a book that he put out, or?
Yeah, it's called Thrill Me.
Huh. All right.
Cool.
It's downstairs, but
we got a question before we move on from TM Fishback, who is a new commenter. Thank you for joining us. Try to leave us that follow if you'd be so kind, if you haven't already.
69th follower at this point, so if you want to be that guy,
you have to. What's your guys' thought on Team Alpha Flight? That's interesting because I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. I have never spent a minute thinking about Alpha Flight outside of the X-Men animated series.
For me, I live closer to Canada now, so it's constantly on my mind.
You
I
gotta
like
know
Alpha
who's in your
Flight.
backyard.
Exactly. Yeah. I like Alpha Flight as like a backup team that's in the background. Like I like Puck, Sasquatch.
Puck is cool.
They're really was it Al Ewing really utilized them well in his Immortal Hulk run as really like it was like half of Alpha Flight used as the supporting cast for Bruce Banner. I thought that was a really good use of it.
I only know Alpha Flight from the Claremont stuff, Uncanny X-Men, and they pop up, sparingly. They're cool designs, cool characters, but no super familiarity with them.
I don't really know Puck's deal. He's just a short guy who can do
acrobatics.
He's acrobatic, yeah.
Yeah.
He's an acrobat.
Yeah, I mean, that just sounds like Wolverine.
Yeah, minus the claws. Yeah.
Fishback, what are your thoughts on Alpha Flight? Are you like a super fan? Because if you are, that would be a first, and that's cool. I like that.
And recommend a series.
Yeah.
Did something new happen with Alpha Flight?
I mean, Gamma Flight was a book that just finished like 2 months ago, which was like an offshoot of Immortal Hulk. I feel like I read something where Alpha Flight is coming back somewhere.
The most recent Alpha Flight thing that I saw was in Avengers versus what was the team? It was Avengers versus some team, and Ryan Cady wrote it. And
the Russian team.
Sorry?
The Russian team, right?
Yes. And they were in that.
It was like a one shot, right?
What we read was a one shot, but it actually continued.
Okay.
Yeah. That was really cool. They were cool in that. The ones that were in it. Yeah. Hopefully that answers your question. Let's get into Devil's Reign. This is number 5. 5 of 6, but don't let that fool you because there is an Omega issue that is coming. So
5 of 7.
Yeah, right. So at least we know that, there's a little bit more left. That softens the blow of the main story being close to closing out. This was also, in my eyes, extremely good. I should go over the creative team real fast before we dive in. Of course, Chip Zdarsky did the writing here. Marco Cicchetto did the art. Colors by Marcio Menez and letters by Clayton Cowles, who somehow manages to letter every book I read.
He's chained up somewhere, I think.
Yes.
In the basement.
Mm-hmm. He's chained up next to that monkey that's trying to write Shakespeare. Like they just
they only feed him when he puts out a book.
Well, he gets fed a lot then.
So the first comment that I need to make about this is that it's really a question. Can Jessica Jones's pants be any lower?
Yes,
I saw that and I went, what year is it?
Yeah, those aren't modern pants, I don't think. But also, I feel like Jessica Jones is the type that would still be stuck in the 2000s.
Sure,
that's fair. I mean? So,
yeah.
This was good stuff, dude.
Yeah, speak on it.
Yeah, this is my pick.
Yeah. Notoriously, I do not read events, and this is probably some of this is a real good event. The opening page, like post the cliffhanger from last issue, and then I thought the first 3 panels just super powerful because you immediately understand the rage from Kingpin's end. And then the way that Matt gets depicted is like this distorted, evil, dark figure, and all that culminating in the end. Like, cool, they did the super heroics and action shit in the middle. Fine, whatever. That didn't light me on fire, but
you didn't like the super heroics part of a superhero event book.
But when Kingpin comes in and has trashed the place, and he's just there out for literal blood. No care for casualties. That was cool. That's like evil incarnate shit, and I was there for that.
Yeah, same.
So this issue covers almost, if not every single thread that's been, laid throughout the series so far. So it has a lot of work to do. In prior reviews, you guys talked about how it felt like things were rushing along and nothing really got its space. Obviously, since then, we've had a ton of different tie-ins. Did you feel that was still a problem here?
I think it did.
Yeah.
It felt like a lot was happening, but this one felt paced better, I think. Like it felt like everything got its moment, or the moment it needed, at least.
Good beats.
I felt like it was paced better because of the story. So what happens in it is that Kingpin really kind of just throws everything out the window because of a personal vendetta, which is classic Kingpin. Yeah. It's the reason why he always fucks up, is because he takes everything so personally. And this, having a memory taken from him, is like the worst thing you could do to him. And because of that, literally all his plans are out the window. He's like, I don't care. I'm going out for blood. And that turns everyone's plan on its head.
Yeah.
So like the plot is forced, like all the plots, A, B, C, D, are forced to react to that.
Right.
And I think that quick turn here makes me realize, oh yeah, this could be 6 issues. Like it is such a monumental shift in the story, but also a natural shift in a way.
Sure.
That I think it really works for the event. And it shows me like, oh, typical Wilson Fisk, he's gonna fuck himself over.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time, dude. And that's, Chip has such a great understanding of all these characters, which I don't know what it is. It shouldn't be a surprise, but sometimes I see what he's capable of, and I'm like, damn, how? Like you've been an artist, and I knew you as such for so long that when I read this and it's so damn good, it's extra remarkable.
He's definitely earned his chops, but like every time I see his name, I go, do I want that?
And then you read it and you're like, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it because of the kayfabe shtick that is Chip Zdarsky? That still kind of clouds you? He's like this goofball.
That could be part of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and because of you, Tyler, I believe the first Chip Zdarsky thing I read, pretty sure was Howard the Duck, because of that damn book club you made us do.
Nice. You're welcome.
It was good.
I did not think so, but that's okay.
I wonder if you'd reread that, if you can see where it's good in there.
No.
And probably not. Yeah, it's not really good at all.
It's just not for me. That doesn't mean it's not good. But so I want to talk about, there are a few moments that I thought were insane. So just even the earlier points of the book, with the kid, the son of, what's his name?
The Purple Man.
Thank you, Purple Man. Trying to take over US Agent, and like US Agent clearly fighting that off. And then all the kids just getting electric shocked by Electro. Holy shit. So awesome. I love Electro, the new one. She's super cool. And so seeing her get a moment like that was awesome. In these events, you don't have much opportunity to shine. So her getting her shit in right there, awesome. If that's the only moment she gets, I'll be happy.
I like the usage of Kilgrave in this.
Yes.
Kilgrave is probably one of the most evil people in the Marvel universe.
That's a great way to put it.
Like there is, I mean, if you read Alias, yeah, there's some real fucked up shit there. Or if you watch the Jessica Jones show, David Tennant, so fucking good as Kilgrave. But Wilson Fisk using him as a weapon, really, and a weapon against the city, because he's like, fuck the city at this point. I have a score to settle, is honestly scary. And especially with how prominent Jessica Jones is in this. There is almost a PTSD I get when those two characters kind of show up. That is on purpose. It's the same thing that Jessica Jones probably feels in the moment.
Right.
And knowing like those two are gonna come to a head in this, and that's only like the F plot. Is pretty wild, honestly.
Kilgrave is one of the few characters that I can think of in the moment who would be a monster, and a very like obvious, we all understand how he would be a monster without powers. Like even if he didn't have powers, he would still be a disgusting person. And I think that adds to the villainy of the character. Like, some of them just want to rob the bank. And now that they have the power to do that, they do it. But like, he wants to fuck with people and manipulate and abuse them. And you can do that without powers. People do that every day in real life.
Yeah, he's just that guy.
Also,
gaslighting.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, one of the most powerful villains, especially for like a New York street level character, really good to use as like almost a MacGuffin from a power standpoint in a book like this. Really smart decision on Zdarsky's part. Still don't know if I care about the Ox from all the other dimensions or whatever. That's kind of random. But they're there. We get an update on Luke Cage's bid for mayor, which I'm still smarting over the City on Fire book being canceled.
It's similar to like the Moira blank spot that I feel like we have. I feel like there's a blank spot here too.
And we literally know it's true, right?
Yeah.
So that sucks. But big action, a lot of cool moments. The ending with Kingpin is the highlight of the book, I think.
Yep, for sure.
So there's a dude who looks like Matt Murdock, but is definitely not. And we find out that he's not even real, which I laughed out loud when he said, I'm not real.
He's a magical brother of Matt Murdock that came about in some weird 80s comic.
Right.
Yeah.
That was really funny that he said it that way. But it's interesting because he works with Kingpin's son. And obviously the real Matt Murdock and Kingpin's father, the new Kingpin, is they're arch enemies. So interesting. But yeah, Kingpin goes to this dude's house and just straight up beats him to death.
Yeah, in front of Kirsten McDuffie too. So honestly, like, I'm okay with this because I've always thought like I think it's like Mike Murdock is his name that he goes by. Really,
something goofy. Yeah,
I always thought it was too goofy, and the fact that this guy has one of the Norn Stones just in a vault in Hell's Kitchen that's a problem. Loki used the Norn Stones in Siege, like they're a big deal. But using this as a way to write off Matt Murdock and let Daredevil be Daredevil. For this new series, I think it's a very interesting point.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that's gone at this point because Matt Murdock would have been dead. So this frees up the actual Matt Murdock to do something different. It justifies the #1 that's coming out.
But my question is, if Matt Murdock is presumed dead, how can he resume his life?
I don't think he does. I think he just goes full on into Daredevil.
He'll probably become his brother, his fake brother.
He'll become the fake brother.
He'll be Mike Murdock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Mike Murdock. What's going on, Matt?
Phenomenal issue. Just so well executed from top to bottom. I really can't wait for this finale.
Abomination. Like that dude never shows up anymore.
That was cool.
I love Abomination, man. One of the best designs out there. And Chichetto drawing it. Oof.
And how cool was that panel too, by the way, where he I'll just show it and I'll also describe it, but like where he jumps on the scene, he's like bent down, crouched down. He would be so much bigger than that panel if he stood up. Like it really helps to establish the scale of him. The way that was done. Real smart. Just a great book. Yeah, I want to make this my pick of the week now that we're talking about it.
I'll allow it.
All right, I'm switching. Sorry, X-Deaths, but this is that good shit.
And that cover too is so good. Just
Yeah, it really is.
the white pouring down his shoulders. It's even though it's got both not Peter Parker Spider-Man on it, like it's still really good.
You just hate it.
Yeah, I love Miles. I'm not sure about that costume, my guy. Come on, that's fine.
Obviously, pull if you've been up to date.
Yeah,
no
pull
doubt
it for sure.
Oh, dude, I'm so hyped for this hardcover. It's got to be a hardcover that comes out, right?
Yeah,
for sure.
I don't buy a lot of hardcovers for books that I read. Like they have to be like things I really, really loved. This is definitely one that I will buy.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, there was that one time I screwed up and bought 10 of Swords. It was
you read the book, right?
Yeah.
You're like, I gotta get on that pre-order, man. Hawkspots is so good.
Dude, it was like $30 or something. Maybe it was 50. And the cover price obviously should have been a lot more than whatever I paid. So I was like, yo, gotta get it. There's no way I won't like this. Psych. Let's talk about Little Monsters #1. This is the first, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's the first book to come out of Jeff Lemire's exclusive deal with Image.
Yep.
And the art is by Dustin Nguyen. Steve Wands did the letters and the overall design. I am going to talk as little as possible in this segment because I understand now that Jeff Lemire is simply not for me.
No.
I want you to expand upon that, though, actually.
Just one of those things, man. I don't get it. I found this to be dry, and what's the furthest place from here just came out, and this feels like that. Not that I don't think that there's like an aping thing going on. It's just that the timing is what it is, and I didn't love that, and I felt like that was a lot more immediately arresting than this was. I don't love books that are not in color, and obviously, again, all this is just personal stuff, but I don't love that. And I don't think a single thing interesting happened in this book.
That's my problem. This is an Image first issue. And what I mean by that is nothing happens until the last page. Nothing is interesting, really.
Man, Sean, you called out all the things that I enjoyed about this book.
Good. That's
literally
perfect. Good.
The art, like it being black and white, took me out of it for a second because Dustin Nguyen works in watercolor. Like that's his go-to. That's his thing, right? So like the cover, right? Yeah, drastic art change, right? That hooked me immediately. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Same. We're seeing him experiment with something. He's trying something. This looks like all digital, which is super interesting to me because I don't know that he's ever done a book that's full digital like this. Plus, it's black and white. It is antithetical to everything in his style, and immediately drew me to it. And man, Lemire writing dry, slow moments, I'm here for that, man. Like those are the things that I think he establishes characters. You get to just see interactions, and then he expounds upon them, and that's what I like his work for. So this worked for me. This very much worked for me as a complete package. I think this was my book of the week.
Wow,
Marco, correct me if I'm wrong, but like Jeff Lemire is one of like the kings of slow burn, character centric coming of age stories with either a sci-fi or fantasy twist to it.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
And I agree with you. I think the change to Dustin Nguyen art with little allusions to like what he's known for, like with the kid with the coloring, the color, the crayons and the colored pencils.
I love those things.
Or the blood from when like spoiler, they're vampires. In that, I did enjoy the art. I've always liked Dustin Nguyen, but again, like I'm kind of in the middle between you and Sean and Cal, being that like nothing really happened, and also I feel like all the characters' names are too similar. There's like a lot of E's, a lot of people
R's.
R. I remember Ronnie. That's about
I
it.
remember Bat, Bart,
Bats.
Bats. Yeah.
Billy.
My son's name is Bort. But,
Blorbo
yeah.
from my shows.
I thought it was fine. This is one of those things where like, yeah, I will try and read issue 2 if it doesn't come out on a week like this again. If it comes out on another fucking crazy week like this, I'm not sure I'll get to it. But I trust Jeff Lemire enough to know that I do tend to like his stories eventually. It just sometimes is slow to get to it.
Yeah, for me, it's like we said, like the art I think is incredible. Dustin Nguyen is doing some really good stuff. But I think there are ways to show character and still give me a reason to keep going.
Of course.
You know, and I just like I the art is half the battle, right? It's even 75% of the battle, sure.
Yeah.
But what is gonna, you know, what content is gonna get me to pick up the next issue? It can't just be the cliffhanger at the last page.
Yeah. And do you really want to read another teenagers at the apocalypse story? Like, I feel like there's a lot of them. Jeff Lemire himself has written one of them in Sweet Tooth.
Gee, I can't imagine why.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super in vogue right now. I don't know, man. Like, I agree with Kale. Like, you can do so much character work. I don't even feel like, I don't know. I don't want to bash it. I like these creators a lot, and I never want to come on here and do that. But I feel like you can, like, I didn't care about a single moment of the book. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing happened where I was like, oh yeah, I feel for these kids, or oh, that's sad, or I feel their heart, or I couldn't connect. And that's really what I was hoping for. Because yeah, you could have a book where there's literally just two characters having a conversation for 24 pages, and that can be good if it's good, you know, if we care.
A lot of these are silent panels too.
Yeah.
Like this was a super fast read for me because most of it was silent. And like in terms of like what happened, there is the cliffhanger, but outside of that, one guy fell, a guy plays guitar, a guy finds crayons. Like, things happen, but things don't really happen in it.
Sean, can you pull up, because my screen's not going to work, but like, it's page 12. It's Rami is on it. It's just like, it's one of the silent pages where, I just showed this one because Sean, this one, like where he picks up the toy.
Let's see if I can find it.
But in it, right, there's an establishing shot where it's Rami. He's alone. It looks dystopian. He's looking through the window of a car. He finds a bag. Inside the bag, he picks up this stuffed toy, and then he just chucks it. And that to me was cool because we're seeing this. Yeah, exactly. The page right before that.
Okay, got it.
And we're seeing that, you know, this is a moment of like loss of innocence in this post-apocalyptic world. He's fighting here for survival. Obviously, this is before we know that they're vampires, but those are the beats that for me like won me over for this book. I really like that he's able to communicate that both Nguyen and that Lemire scripted this to be silent and to just show you a small moment. And that's how those are the things that I like Lemire for. I really respect when he's able to do and capture an emotion in a really small beat.
That's very fair. Everything you just said sounds awesome. I guess I just wish it was communicated. Maybe just I guess for me, just in a little bit more of an interesting way. I think it's kind of weird to say this. I hate saying things like this about comics. Everything you just said, if it were shown, if those same beats were hit in like a TV show or a movie, I would have been able to feel them more. Because you have faces, you have human bodies that are, you know, enacting all of those things, and I think it would have hit me more. I just couldn't feel it here, and it sucks. I wanted to like this. I picked it for a reason. If I knew I wasn't going to like it, we would have just done Radiant Red, you know?
Where did you guys read this in your reading order? I'm curious. First, last?
It was last for me. I thought it would be the thing I would really enjoy. Yeah.
I'm lying. I read it first because I read it through every week. Image gives us digital copies of all the books. So I read it through that.
I read it last, and I think that didn't help me. Because after reading a book where the Kingpin beats the shit out of Mike Murdock, and Banshee gets skinned alive, and Punisher kills a whole bunch of the Hand, I went to like a really slow black and white book.
Yeah.
And it just, I think it was a little jarring in terms of where I read it. Maybe I'll do an Image number 1 first as like a nice appetizer next time. But
yeah, that's a good point.
I feel uncomfortable saying pass because I recognize that this is very clearly like a specifically my taste thing. And I would hate for this to be your thing. And then you hear me say pass and you don't buy it.
I think it's a fair caveat though.
I would pass, but see some preview images, maybe listen to the other guys. They have different opinions than me, but I would say pass.
It's a Lemire for me. So that's an automatic trade weight in a good way. Like I will come back to this.
Yeah, I'm going to stick on this one. This is definitely a pick it up for me. Pull it.
I say pass. I'm okay with saying pass. It's just it's not for me either. Isn't Little Monsters also a movie too? The one with like the Wolfman has nards or something like that, or
I feel like I've heard it before, but then I thought maybe I'm thinking about Real Monsters, the Nickelodeon show.
Real Monsters.
Yeah.
Cult classic where it's like Goonies meets Universal Monsters. Hold on.
Oh yeah. No, that's what is that? That's the Little Monsters.
Little Monsters is the Fred Savage movie where he has a monster under his bed.
What?
I don't know that one.
And the monster's played by Howie Mandel. Yeah, that's a weird movie. I remember that one.
That's very weird. Let's move on because we have limited time today. Let's do the comics tag. Yes, thank you.
Marco, how's like Ant?
Yeah.
Yo, okay. Ant, Buck, Wild. I'll start off by saying
before you go, Marco, like my time's gotten a little looser, so feel free.
Okay. To expound.
Yeah.
The art, I like it a lot. I like the art a lot. I think I like Larson. I think he does good stuff. The color work here is pretty good. There are just moments in this book. There's a lot of captions. Okay. I thought Spawn was bad. No, there's a lot of fucking captions in this. The entire, I'm going to say this. What is this? Look at this page. Let me see if this works.
Can we?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see if this works. Look at all these captions.
Okay. You can see the boxes, yeah. It's very old school comics.
That doesn't even seem that bad, though.
But on every other page.
Little Monsters that he just read. Like, Marco likes the art house thing.
on like every other page has just captions and captions. Fine, right? There's very much a style to it that I think I appreciated because it feels very in line with the stuff that we've been reading with Spawn. And this is the Spawn crossover issue as well. So it felt appropriate.
Does he show up in this?
He does. He shows up at the end to fight the big bad. And he's cool. He's like it's a different suit. He's wearing like, he looks almost like Rorschach. He's wearing like an overcoat. I'm trying to find a good page. Yeah. He has an overcoat on. Let me see these. Like it's cool. Huh. Yeah.
We got Bouncer Spawn different.
And honestly, it was a fun issue. Like outside of I think the pacing and some of the word vomit, it was actually kind of fun.
Outside of the word vomit, it's a good book.
So, okay. That Ant character is still the same little girl from the first issue that we see or whatever, right?
This is I don't know if it's a little girl. She's grown now, but she was a little girl when we first saw her, right? Yeah.
Okay. And then you showed us a panel off screen.
That's right. Wait, let me pull that one up. Yeah, and this is the same little girl.
Okay. I'm not trying to be a prude or whatever. Obviously, you guys know I'm into
I can
all
give
of
context.
it. But we have seen this girl as a baby. And so for me, that's just a little weird. But
The next page, full nudity. But only from behind. You don't right? And that I don't know if I can show on Twitch. But
no, let's not even do that.
yeah. So she's running full nude and into the sewer, and then jumps into the sewer and becomes the ant. Gets the costume on, and
I believe so. Ant wasn't created by Larson.
Right.
no, it's I believe some European comic, either Italian or French.
Yeah, but I think Larson realized the problematic nature of it being a preteen girl.
Yeah.
And either recast the character.
Murphy just said, "Bro, I gotta show you the OG Ant,
Oh.
so you know it's gonna be some fucked up shit."
Yeah. So, but I believe Larson recognized that, and he either aged up the character or recast the superhero. He did something to make her age appropriate.
And
Consciously.
didn't the original creator base it on his real daughter?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. There's some weird shit like that. I remember reading about this.
I'm uncomfortable.
Big sus.
That is sus.
So you liked it then?
Yeah, it's pretty good. The first issue was rougher than this one for sure.
And to be fair, I think the first issue was like a heavy homage to the original Ant. So
Yeah.
I guess that's
That's not better. Murphy says that it was an American guy and it was created while he was in prison.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So
Oof.
Not great. But so it's my turn for Comic Snag.
wait,
Indeed.
are you gonna keep reading?
I don't know. Actually, wait. Yes, we get them with image, so we get them in the email. So for sure, yeah. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna read it.
Yeah. You don't have to pay for it.
All right, hell yeah.
So I wanted to tag Kale. This week, Eternals came out, and I think you're gonna dig Eternals. I really do.
What is this? The trade?
This is, I think the trade came out already, but I was gonna tell you to do either the trade or issue 10, because I think that's where we're starting with the Avengers event, and I very much like what what's his face
Kieran
Gillen has been doing, and I think you get a kick out of it. I like his writing. I like the way he characterizes all of the players, and if this is the setup for the event, I think it's going to be good.
It's good.
The book itself is great. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it is. It is a good book.
Art and everything. Oh man. You read? Did you read last issue, Tyler? With
I have not gotten to it. No.
Okay.
Maybe I might have. Was it the big fight scene, or was it like?
Yeah.
Okay, I did read it. Yeah.
Okay, great stuff, right? Like,
Yeah.
Will I need to read the trade to know what the hell's going on?
Yes.
yeah.
Marco, I think it
actually.
might be better to do tell him to read like issue 1 or the trade.
Yeah, fine. Read. I
I didn't like issue 1.
It
We
gets
read
better.
that for the show.
It gets much better. I would say do the trade.
Oof, that's a brutal tag.
I think you're gonna enjoy it, dude. Really.
Is it on unlimited?
Probably because
I think it might be.
It went on hiatus to do those one shots for a bit, so you probably have all of it on unlimited.
If it's on unlimited, I'll do the trade and 10.
Let's see. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
So the tag
I don't know if it is yet. I'm checking.
ambiguous Kieran Gillen Eternals. Got it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll update you guys on that next week. Kale, I'm sorry if you have to read the trade.
I don't think you are.
I actually am, dude. I couldn't do it.
Okay.
I dropped off, man. I don't know.
How many? How far along did you get, Sean?
I want to say it was about 4 issues. It was either 3 or 4.
I think it's where it peaks, or not peaks, but like it starts showing what it's doing. There's a big moment in it, and I think since then it's gotten really good.
Okay. I'm on record. I'm gonna jump back in because this event is like it seems like it's going to be fantastic. So
especially when
I'm going to
Kieran
catch up.
Gillen is writing 2/3 of the books that are tying into it. So
Yeah,
it looks like it is on. For whatever reason, the trade is reading as $0 for me. So I'm assuming that means it is.
shoot, I
On
might
Unlimited.
Yeah,
dive
on
in.
Unlimited.
actually, they might have done that right before the Eternals movie. Now I'm thinking.
think
about
you're-
it.
I
think
think you're
there was,
right,
like,
yeah.
something special that they did. Like they broke the Unlimited time frame for it.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really help the movie, obviously, but all right.
For
but we
what
do
it's
have
worth,
Pals.
Matt says he loves Eternals.
Yes.
He
Yeah.
also loves Ant. Pals polls. I guess I'll go first with the Pals polls in this one. So
Sure.
I picked World's Finest, Batman Superman by the returning Mark Waid to DC Comics.
Oh, that's next week. What the hell?
Yeah. And Dan Mora on art. So
Oh,
Let's go.
my God.
that is about as A-list as you can get right now.
Yo, did Dan Mora come out of nowhere else like before Power Rangers and like he blew up on
He was
that?
doing WWE for a while.
Really?
Right. Yeah, he was.
Yep.
Didn't Dan Mora do the Klaus book that we read?
That's right.
He
with
did
Grant.
Klaus
Grant.
too, yeah.
Yeah, I think that was around the same time as Power Rangers.
And dude, this classic blue cape Batman with the red symbol. I mean the yellow symbol right in his chest. Oh man, I'm hyped for this. It looks like an out of continuity kind of like just team up book too, which I haven't had in a while. So I'm pretty
It's
excited.
going to
For
be
this.
good.
And I also picked Reckoning War: Trial of the Watcher, which seems to be kind of a one shot. Detailing some more Watcher backstory that ties into Reckoning War. I'm picking this up because it's Javier Rodriguez on art, and anytime Javier Rodriguez is on art,
That's good.
I'll pick it up. So, Sean, you had Carnage #1, which really confused me
Why?
because I'm like, didn't Carnage Forever just come out? And I realized Carnage Forever was not the name of the ongoing; it was just a one shot to lead into this. It was essentially an alpha.
Right. Yeah.
Does Carnage have 2 #1s in less than a month? So I was confused, but
Dude, it's the year of Carnage. Hello?
except for-
Hello.
Rom V is writing Carnage. Like,
Cool.
I don't even think that the book needs any other kind of sell. That's crazy. And you know that Rom is going to do something. He's going to wax philosophical about the essence of chaos, or just something nuts that is somehow going to bring clarity and depth to a character who has never had either one of those things. So that's pretty cool. And then on art is David Michelin.
No, that's so is I believe the artist is
Oh no, I'm
Francesco
sorry.
Manna.
It says Ron Lim.
So I think there's a lot of stuff in here because Ron Lim
Okay.
and David Michelin are also on this, and Michelin was like the guy who wrote like the Venom stuff way back.
That's
when.
right. Yeah, I'm going crazy. How could I forget that? Yeah.
So I don't know what is there going to be backups in here? Is there going to be a reprint of something in here? Usually those reprints don't get put on the cover, so I'm kind of curious to see what this is. It seems like a best of both worlds, modern day and throwback kind of comic.
Yeah. Well, either way, I'm here for whatever it is that Rom V has to say. And I'm sure that I'm assuming the artist is Francesco Manna. I'm sure that'll be great. This is going to be cool. So I'm excited.
Matt puts Ron Lim thumb down.
I don't know what that's about. Kale, you had the Fantastic Four Hickman omnibus hardcover.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah. Maybe I'm just turning into an omnibus person, but
They're good.
I think this is the 3rd week in a row that I've picked omnibus. Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four is like, I mean, it's pretty much where it all started for Marvel. No, I guess that's not entirely true, but
That modern Marvel has a lot to, like, a lot of it is here. You're kind of
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
and I think I read this just after it came out in trade, and the Council of Reeds and the Death of the Human Torch, and man, I am all about Hickman's Fantastic Four.
Is this is FF, right? Like,
This is where all that starts. Yeah.
Okay, because
Yeah.
that like Spider-Man joins or something, right?
Yeah.
And okay, that I remember starting to read and liking it very much. It was one of the very few Fantastic Four stuff that I've ever read.
Yeah, it starts here. They split the Fantastic Four and the FF, which becomes like the Future Foundation, to do better stuff for the world or whatever.
Might pick this one up.
Definitely buying this.
This is
100%.
great stuff. This will also just like look good on a shelf too. So, so when the Death of Human Torch happened, they polybagged the issue, and I picked one up, and I somehow pulled the Hickman signed Bagley variant.
Oh, wait, whoa, hold that up again, please.
Yeah.
Pull it back, get it in frame.
Oh my god.
There it is.
Oh my god. How much does that go for, dude?
I don't even know. I had trouble finding it. But yeah, it's like the version variant too, so it doesn't even have like the title on it.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, and I just picked it up from my comic shop just randomly. I'm gonna look it up after the show. I'm kind of curious.
Never sell that. That's
a
cool.
bleeding cool article about it. It's sold for $300 back in 2011. Yeah.
Wow, that's nice, dude. Congrats.
And then Kale, you also had Doctor Strange or Strange.
Oh, yeah.
as Sean would say.
Yes.
I was waiting for the picture to pop up on Twitch because that's the only place I can see it.
Yeah, I was busy running and showing up in my pajamas to Twitch.
Yeah, this is Jed McKay on the Death of Doctor Strange. I really gave this a hard time when it was announced because of the film and the death tie-in and the very obvious marketing machine. But Marco says it's really good, and I really enjoyed Strange. Was it Strange?
Yeah,
that we read last week.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm gonna give it a shot.
I'm glad I didn't make this your pick because it was between this or Eternals. I'm like, no, Eternals.
Oh, that reminds me. Eternals is on Unlimited. Okay. I've had it downloaded for weeks. So this is just an excuse to get to it.
And then Marco, you had also on here the Hidden Dungeon Only I Can Enter, Volume 5. How was that?
I'm a big fan of entering dungeons, and especially ones that only
are
I
forbidden.
Can enter, that are forbidden. That's right.
Whoa! I just saw the art on Twitch. Oh my god!
Marco's pick.
So I'm picking it up starting on volume 5 because I figured what better time to jump into a story than on the 5th volume.
Yeah, of course. And the creative team here being the creative team, great stuff. Really like their work, so definitely excited to grab this.
This is what happens, guys, when you don't give me the pick your pals polls before like 2 minutes before we go live.
Someone doesn't do their homework.
We'll pick them for you. I thought, there it is. Eternals the Heretic also comes out next week. So, Marco, you can actually talk about that one.
Marco, I do want to hear about this next week. So, right. This is like Comics Tag Junior. Like, you do have to read this and give a full report on it.
Could I start with volume 1?
Okay.
Okay.
Man, it's your punishment if that's what you want to do.
Okay.
Do you want me to read the synopsis of that previous book?
No, I don't.
At a dance party hosted by Earl Bourne, the mysterious Phantom has kidnapped Emma and made off with the Bourne family jewels. Noir sets off in pursuit along with Lila, who is armed with a demon fist attack. Oh boy. Will Noir be able to rescue Emma from this master thief?
Who are you, Roman Reigns?
Oh no!
That's what he does, Marco. He does he checks his fist.
I bet he does.
He checks his wrists. He wants to make sure that they're safe.
Don't.
Unbelievable, dude.
But Eternals the Heretic. I'm not sure if this is one of the other like in between issues. Like it's not necessarily part of the run. So I've been picking those up. I think I really like the world building that Gillen does, especially in these one-off issues. So this one is specific to Uranos, and
Not mine, yours.
Sorry,
Not mine, yours.
haha. And yeah, I enjoy these one-off stories. So I'm gonna pick this up because I really like the world that he's establishing here, and the art is by Ryan Bodenheim. Not familiar, but the creative teams have been pretty stellar.
This cover is phenomenal. I am buying this 100,000%.
Dude, Saad Ribic on all of these. Oh man, he's like, he does the main book art, but he does all the covers, and that's cool. That consistency has been really, really nice to see.
And Sean, I don't know if this sells you on Eternals a little better. It's essentially the Thanos ongoing featuring the Eternals.
Yeah. I like Thanos, obviously. Thanos is one of the coolest Marvel characters, but that doesn't, because I bought the book because Thanos was going to be in it. And then yeah, I don't know. Well, that's going to do it for us here on Pals Pull. So many books coming out next week that are awesome. Let us know what you are pulling next week. And if you want to tag us, feel free. You can get us wherever you get us. There's a comment section and you can leave us a tag. We'll read whatever book you suggest. If you're in our Discord server, I always think it's pretty cool when you guys share your pulls with us on there. So if you just want to pop in and share the pulls for the week, we always love to see that. It's awesome. Join our Discord server if you haven't. If you're a listener of the show, you like our vibe and stuff like that, you will get more of it on our Discord. Twitch.tv/The Comics Pals every single Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern to listen to this very show live. Thank you to everyone who joined us. Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern to listen to the main show live. DC done goofed. And by DC, I mean DC Films. And we're going to talk about that this week.
Are we going to talk about this Justice League Avengers shit?
That's how I'm going to start the show, actually, because I'm too hot on it to not start with that. So, yeah, youtube.com/The Comics Pals for all of our cool stuff. We've got some shorts up there, TikTok as well. Go check us out. Somehow we got 4,000 views on a Batman snippet. If you want to see Tyler get roasted, head on over to
idiot. It's great.
What was your favorite? What was your favorite comment, Tyler?
I'll bring it up real quick. Let's see what we got here. I like responding to him because like I respond with like the
are you sure you can see the screen?
Energy. What's that?
Are you sure you can see the screen?
Can like share the screen or?
Are you sure you can see the screen?
Oh yeah, I mean if I get real close to it, I can.
And open your eyes a bit.
Yeah. Let's just talk. Okay. Sheesh. What is he talking about 90 minutes in? What took that man 90 minutes to realize took me 10? And I responded with, he's slow, cut him some slack. So, you know, where is it? I love this great convo. Bro, what? 90 minutes? Jeez. Let's see. Took me an hour and a half to realize I'm a dead ass loser. Bud. All right. Well, I told him I literally said this to my therapist today. Yeah, I mean, TikTok's great.
He went into his therapist and he said, I'm about to get roasted on TikTok. You don't even know.
I mean, it's kind of like a rite of passage, I feel.
That's the harshest comment section we've ever had.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know, man. Those Radiant Black reviews. It's not harsh, but like, this is douchier.
That's true. That's true.
Put some more effort in,
I don't know. I'm here for. I don't give a shit about that. But to call you an idiot, that's out of bounds. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us this week. Until next time, take care, guys.
See you next week.